Change of pace.
Welcome to the Change of Pace podcast. In this episode, we're going to be taking you through our top 10 contenders going into the playoffs. It's March 16th. We're less than a month away from playoff basketball. I know it's been a while since we potted. We're going to discuss our top 10 contenders with you guys. But of course, to start off with some news. Bam Adebayo, a week ago, scored 83 points in an NBA game, surpassing Kobe's second all-time scoring game of 81. He did it against the Wizards. I think he attempted like 41 free throws, like the most free throws ever attempted in a game.
Made the
Um,
most free throws too.
Made the most free throws. I think he shot less than 50% from the field. I'm pretty confident about that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
insane that you do that, scoring 83 points. But yeah, I did it in front of Asia Wilson and had a cool press conference afterward. I heard Tatum was pissed. It was crazy, crazy game. And he's like the last person you would expect to score 80 in a game, considering prior to that game, he wasn't even averaging 20 points a game. What are you guys' thoughts on this? Sal, you're shaking your head. Why don't you give us your thoughts?
Um, the first thing that I thought of when I saw this was that I was disappointed just because I feel like Kobe's 81 is just a part of like sports culture,
Yeah,
and it's such a like an important part of it, and also to his legacy, and to see that get dethroned by like what I it's obviously a historic performance, but I don't think that in the next 10 years I don't know if I'll ever watch that game again, right? Like I no, I know I won't. I know. Um, but at the same time, I'm happy for Bam. I feel like he's gotten hate because of it, but like I would have probably done the same thing if I was him, which was if I have 70 through three quarters,
come on,
I'm damn sure trying to get 81.
for sure.
And he's also like he grew up poor. Like he grew up like he wasn't wealthy at all. Like he came up out of nowhere. He was like the 14th pick in the draft or something like that, I think. Um,
Something like that, like that.
yeah, so in that sense, it's pretty cool that just like he will forever be in the history books. But to think that like I might tell my kids in the future like Kobe scored 81 and they're like, okay, Bam had 83, and it's like, what? Like, what do you say to that?
Yeah. Sai?
I'm gonna go the opposite take. I think it's pretty crazy. I don't really care too much about like records personally. Like Kobe's 81 is cool. The moment, the game. Obviously, I wasn't like sentient really for that moment, so I didn't really like, care. But obviously, like it's a thing, right? Kobe had 81. Wilt's 100 seemed kind of historic. Like it wasn't gonna be touched by anyone ever. So like
Yeah.
Kobe's 81 was like the real prize because it was by a player everyone knew, everyone watched. People saw it happen live, like there was actual televised footage of this happening. So for Bam to surpass that, pretty crazy, pretty impressive. Just rewatching the highlights, he did get fouled a ton. That first quarter was like one of the craziest hot shooting nights you'll ever see. And then it was just a normal Bam game for the rest of the game, which was not the most efficient score. This isn't what he does. I just think like you know what? Wilt, Bam, Kobe, I'm okay with it. It was pretty cool to see. I guess it affects Kobe's legacy, but at the end of the day, someone was gonna break it, and Bam thought, why not him? So like, why not? You know?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think it was like you just wouldn't expect him to be the first person to break the record. I don't even know what else to say. It was
Yeah,
almost like
it's
random.
it's so funny.
Yeah, but
Like,
it was like we can say it's unethical, but he was hitting some tough shots. I mean, he was getting he got it pretty easily. I mean, easily in the sense he was hitting some sick shots. He did it in a cool and entertaining way. After watching the highlights, I didn't even watch the game until the fourth quarter because you were texting like he had like 50 early in the third quarter. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
he
Uh,
had LeBron 62, like beat the Miami record in three quarters, or like in the beginning of the third quarter. Just nuts.
Shout out to Eric Spoelstra for letting him play too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then like the Wizards were actually playing defense. Like they didn't want him to score it. And yeah, but it was cool, I guess. Yeah, I mean it's crazy. I don't know why I'm saying I guess. It's just Bam doing it is so insane, given that like we've actually criticized his lack of offensive
His career
growth.
high before this is 41 points.
He more
Like
than doubled
half
it.
of that. He more
Wow.
than doubled it.
Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't even an all-star in his own team. Like Norman Powell was an all-star ahead of him. this
Yeah, I
season.
remember this.
This is
Exactly.
just like the most outlandish thing you'll ever see. Uh, I don't know. I thought it was really cool, like to make a Miami Heat Washington Wizards game, like maybe the game of the year, a moment everyone was watching. Pretty
Yeah.
historic. For him and Aja to be like the active highest leading scorers in their leagues individually, also pretty fucking sick.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cool things about it, in my opinion, and I know it's yeah, obviously it wasn't the greatest watch, especially that second half. Obviously, when you think of 83 points and Bam Adebayo, it just doesn't compute. Like it does feel like a glitch in like 2K. You pick up a random
What did
box
he
score
have?
during my league, and
Like 16 or something, like 18 points on like inefficient shooting.
he was averaging 18.8, and it went up all the way to 20 exactly because of that game. Just nuts. Like,
But
um,
I think people have a bit of a problem with it just because they were fouling intentionally to get the ball back.
yeah,
Which that I understand because it's not really in the flow of the game. Um, but it's still 83 points. So
yeah. I mean, you never to score 83 points. It's like you're taking everyone out of the game anyways. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
also like everyone in the stadium, that's what they were waiting for, right? That the like once you're in the fourth quarter, you see him score 70, you're like, can he do it? Can he actually catch Kobe? And the teammates were the same way. Like Spoelstra was the same way. Like I completely understand. Like if you can make it happen, why not make it happen?
yeah, the
Personally.
cheers were so loud, bro.
Yeah.
So loud. I mean, yeah, it was
I like this was
uh,
a Miami Heat game, and like those crowds are like notoriously lame. They
garbage.
were
They're
like
terrible.
and they were into the game, like a Washington Wizards game. Like that is pretty amazing. And
Yeah.
and good for him for shitting on the Wizards. Like again, a team that's been ass for years, playing fucking Anthony Gill down the stretch of this game, who just fouled Bam incessantly. Tristan Vukcevic, like they just have bad players, and he just punished them. Like that's what he should do.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that is what he should do. I agree. I think I don't know that any most stars would play the fourth quarter, but it's Bam.
Yeah.
He's just not like that. Like if Anthony Edwards had 60 and 3 and they were playing the Wizards and they were up 20, I don't know that he plays the fourth quarter. Or
I feel
like
like that might be a Finch thing though, maybe. Like I feel like he would want to. You don't think so?
not and fine. Like I don't know any star, any
I
like
think Shea, like a Jokic, Shea, like those guys for sure.
they wouldn't
I
play.
feel like a lot of American players though, like if they could like they probably care about that type of thing a lot
Oh,
more.
yeah, Tatum. Tatum.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tatum. Like if he could catch up, he would stop on 81 though for sure, like without a doubt.
Were you guys watching it when he got 81?
I wasn't, no. I wish
I
I did.
basically they called timeout when that happened, and I was sure that Bam was getting subbed out of that game.
Me
I
too,
texted you
yeah.
guys. I was like, "Oh my
Yeah,
God, he's
yeah.
doing too much by stopping." Because the Heat commentator literally said, "Out of respect, they're now going to sub out Bam." And then Bam stays in the game. I'm like, "What?"
Yeah.
And then no, actually no, that's not true. I lied. I turned off the game, and you texted me he got 83, and I was like,
Yeah.
"What?"
No, I was looking, I saw 81, and then I checked the box score, it's like 83, and I was just so confused because I saw the timeout. I thought
Yeah,
it said he subbed out, but I guess he stayed in. It's
yeah.
nuts.
Everyone thought he subbed. Everyone thought he was going to sub out, bro. But yeah, I don't know.
I'm like, good for him, like go for the record. Why not be number two, man? If you had the chance.
Yeah, that's crazy. Wilt, Bam, and Kobe.
Yep.
Nice. All right. What's the next bit of news, honestly? Like, is it the Hawks 10-game win streak? Is that what we're going to talk
I
about?
think I just wanted to bring up Shea's 20 point. That's another like big Wilt record.
Yeah.
176 straight 20-point games. Pretty impressive.
Hmm.
Now 177 after the latest Wolves game. Obviously, it's not like I don't know. I wouldn't consider this like the level of Bam, obviously, because it's not like it's one game. And the
Yeah.
consistency is what Shea does best. But at the same time, I was listening to the broadcast of when that game happened, and they were basically like Wilt got fouled out or he got ejected 4 minutes into the game. That was like right after the 176 game, and then he had like another 86 games of 20
Yeah,
points. So
bro.
like it's really a fake record if we're being honest, but
Yeah.
like the fact that Shea is above and beyond everyone else basically other than Wilt, pretty damn impressive. And I think the last three games, especially like last four games, especially like he's just been outstanding. Ignoring that Wolves game, like it's been a statement case. I think he's like definitely the clear favorite for MVP. Made I think like that's really the cemented his legacy the season for sure.
Yeah. No, I think he's the clear favorite as well. I mean, how many games can he miss for the remainder of the
I
season?
think five more.
That's doable. He can
Yeah, definitely.
totally. Oh, yeah. So yeah, Shea's gonna be back-to-back MVP. Awesome. Yeah, especially because the Nuggets have fallen off so much.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if Jokic meets the thing if he.
I think he can miss one more.
Yeah, so he's probably cooked anyway. Yeah, shout out to Shea. Yeah, lastly, we can touch on the Hawks 10-game win streak since trading for Jonathan Kuminga. Impressive. Nikhil Alexander-Walker's been really good.
Yeah,
But
43 tonight.
yeah,
Yeah.
they've been playing pretty shitty competition.
Yeah.
But
The
yeah,
Magic
shout
is
out
a real win though. They've also been on fire lately.
Magic are good.
And like a real win. They're inching towards like as soon as Charlotte makes their case, now Atlanta, Miami,
Yeah,
Orlando, this whole
Charlotte's
like
back to
division.
10, dude. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Philly's been
Charlotte,
falling, but now Atlanta's 8. So like they could climb up. The whole 5 through 10 is really close to each other, just like the West is pretty much like that
it's
West
more
middle
like
part.
5 to 9, though. I feel like the Hornets are kind of locked into that 10 seed unless
Yeah,
they
that's fair.
like some team ahead goes on like a very cold stretch, which I mean, I guess the Sixers could, but
Out of the East playing teams, who do you think is gonna make it out?
It's tough right now. If
fuck, that's so hard.
It's really hard.
If you had to bet, who would you bet
I
on?
mean, you'd have to assume the Sixers are healthy by that point. Like Maxi's been out for, or is going to be out for 2 more weeks with a broken finger. I think
Yeah.
PG will come back for the play-in. Embiid, you'd have to assume comes back. He's out right now as well.
I kind of feel like the Hornets would win that
Me
game.
too, but they have to win two.
They have to win too.
They do have to win too, but in the 9-10 game, Sixers Hornets, I think I might go
I
Hornets.
don't think a 10 seed's ever made it out, have they? Or no, I think last year Miami,
I'm not sure.
I
No, Miami
believe.
lost. Did Miami?
No, no,
No,
no. They got destroyed by the Cavs in the first round.
yeah, I
But I
know.
believe they were a 10 seed and they made it. But
Davion
other
Mitchell
than
went
that,
crazy. Yeah, you're right. You're right. They won the first game against the Hawks because Davion Mitchell went insane
yeah.
in the fourth, and then I
And then they
forget what
beat the
happened. So
Bulls, I want to say.
it could have. I wouldn't. I couldn't tell you because I just don't.
But yeah, I mean, a 10 seed making it in is really rare. Charlotte does have like a really good team. They've really figured it out. Their three-point shooting's been like excellent. Their starting lineup's been one of the best in the league.
They're sixth in offensive rating, dude.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But yeah, I would go Heat 7 pretty confidently.
Yeah, I
And
think so
then,
too.
but again, dude, the fucking Magic or the Raptors could totally fall to 7. Like they're half a game ahead
Yeah.
of the Heat. So
True.
then, I don't know. I would go Heat and Sixers. Yeah, I think
I
I'd
like
go
that,
Heat.
honestly. Yeah. But I think the East play-in will be definitely fun. I mean, I could see the Raptors falling into the play-in. I could see Orlando. Like you don't really know who's going to be in it at the end of
Yeah,
the day, too.
yeah, yeah. All right. Are you guys ready to get to the main event?
Let's
Let's
do
do
it.
it.
Huh, jinx. Okay, guys, let's rank our top 10 contenders going into these playoffs. I feel like we had somewhat different criteria. I think some of us weighted more about like the conference quality. So a contender is someone who makes it further. For me, I cared, I guess, more about just how good you are relative to other teams in the league. So like if you're a team in the West, like there's better teams in the West. So if you're a 5 seed in the West, like the Nuggets, I still think even if you are less likely to make the finals because you have to go through someone like the Spurs or the Thunder, I still think you're more of a quote unquote contender than maybe a team that goes to the finals in the East just to be destroyed. So we can talk about our thought process throughout this one. I'm sure we'll disagree on some of these. But with that being said, who wants to give their number 10?
Do you want to go all honorable mentions or do you just want to go straight into
Oh,
10?
we're going from the bottom.
Oh, I mean, I don't know. We
I
could
think
do,
bottom makes more sense,
yeah, I mean,
personally.
we could say, okay, who wants to go honorable mentions? I actually didn't write them, but I can think of them off the top of my head.
I think I have Houston as an honorable mention right now. Um,
Okay.
they've really fallen off the second half of the season. They're basically middle of the road ever since Steven Adams been out for the rest of the year. Turnovers are a huge problem. Their shooting's really fallen off. I just feel like they don't have like Şengün's been awful lately. They don't have the offense to figure it out. Turnovers are a real problem for them. I think they're gonna get spanked in round one. Like I'm really confident whoever they play, like all of these teams want to play the Houston Rockets. They're also like, relative to all the other teams in the West, basically, they're have the least experience as well, other than, the 7, 8 teams. So
Okay.
I have them there. And then also like I wanna say one of these Southeast teams is also an honorable mention for me. Like, just because of how Indiana came on strong the second half of the season last year and then just shot through their way through the playoffs, and these Southeast teams have been doing kind of the same thing. Obviously, I don't think they have the same level of star power and depth that Indiana have had, but I feel like if there were a team, I think Miami maybe has that case to be like a team that could go through the playoffs a little bit, like at least compete. So I want to give them a shout. They have a lot of like they have some scorers, have a lot of depth. I like their team at least.
The Heat are in my honor. Like they're 100% one team that I was considering for number 10. So yeah,
Yeah,
I agree with that. Rockets, I disagree because I had them in my top 10. But
right.
Yeah, me
yeah.
too.
Anyone else, Sai? Or we can go on to Sal also. What do
That's
you,
all.
okay.
No, I didn't have any. I would probably put Phoenix in as an honorable mention. They just like Jordan Ott has made them really good. Their offense looks really good. But there's no way that I could have had them in my top 10.
Yeah, I just can't see it with how good the West is personally. And
Yeah.
then
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I have a few teams I can talk about. The Heat won. Raptors also, just out of respect. I don't think they're actually like it's hard to do top 10 contenders because in reality there's maybe like four or five. So when you start
yeah.
going that deep into like a six or seven or eight
That's the
seed,
thing though. Like last year, Indiana, man. Like I mean, obviously a rare
what
occasion.
seed was Indiana?
Five, I believe.
Indiana had made the conference finals the year before. Like we know they're
That is
capable.
fair. That is fair. But I
So
think when you look in the contender rankings, they wouldn't have been top five last year. They would have been,
probably not,
yeah,
but like you wouldn't be as surprised about them making it as you would about the Raptors or even the Heat without Jimmy Butler
right. Yeah,
making it,
definitely.
right? And
I
then
mean, Miami a couple years ago too. Like you wouldn't have had them in the finals. Like things happen.
like who the fuck do the Heat have or who do the Raptors have that's a Jimmy Butler? Jimmy Butler had done it before, he'd been in the finals before too, you know? And that wasn't
Yeah,
an eight seed in 2020. That was like I don't know
right.
what, but they were not an
Hey,
eight.
so is Bam. So is Bam.
Yeah, I mean Jimmy's never scored 83. Yeah, I have the Magic as well, as an
Okay.
honorable mention. And then yeah, I mean I feel like am I forgetting a team? Like, no, I think that covers my honorable mentions. So do you have anything else?
I would probably I would put the Sixers in there. They're not on my top 10.
Yeah, they're
But if
definitely
they're
not.
healthy,
Yeah.
they're I
No,
would probably yeah, I'd put them as an honorable mention.
they're very Lakers like with their star power. They can just like maybe
Yeah.
brute force their way through a series through scoring. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So who wants to get started with number 10?
I can go first just because I do feel like you guys don't have this on your team on your list, and I have the LA Clippers.
That's my number
Um,
10.
okay, never mind then.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if you guys do have the Rockets in there, I'm kind of confused which one you don't have.
Two. Make me
Oh,
That's
scared.
too.
I have Houston at 10.
I have
Okay.
Houston in my list, but not 10. Wow. Okay. Yeah, continue,
Yeah,
please.
anyways, so the Clippers last 2 months they've really come on strong ever since that really horrendous start. They've forced their way into 500, the eighth seed, and they could be coming for that seven. Like I think they're pretty solidly in the eighth seed, but I think they're gonna try to go for that seven seed in the play-in. Like I really think they're a team that could beat the Suns. Kawhi Leonard's been maybe a top five player this year in the league. Like just his offensive consistency. The three-point shooting has been really good. His handle's gotten a lot better. I mean, obviously he's like a sniper from the mid-range. Everything just looks very solid for them. Garland's healthy. Matherin's been an outstanding scorer, and they have a lot of young guys and defensive vets who have been pretty good for them.
Yeah.
Now, the question marks for me are obviously Kawhi's health coming into the playoffs. Same with Garland, both kind of injury-prone stars. I think that they're best. They're very talented and could give like a team like OKC or the Spurs, like the Spurs especially, like they don't really have a guy who can stop Kawhi, like a wing stopper who poses that threat. And then same with Garland, like he's just really fast for a lot of these perimeter defenders.
Yeah.
And although he may struggle in the lane, like against like a Wemby or Chet, like he can create a lot of his own offense and create offense for other. And same with Mathurin, right? Like he's a guy who in any moment can just go for 15 in a row. Like you never really know he can burst onto the scene. So I really like their offense. Another question mark is obviously, starting Brook Lopez. They don't really have a great backup center with Niederhauser out.
I agree.
So there's
That
not like it's a lot of lack of depth, but I just think with Kawhi, that's a guy you can't really like rule out completely just how good he's been this year.
That's
Yeah.
kind of why I didn't have them on my list. I should have listed them as an honorable mention. But I don't have any questions about their offense. I think they're in the last 2 weeks they're second in offense.
Hmm.
A part of that is Garland. Mathurin has been really good for them too. Um, but I just don't know about their defense. You can't really lean on Brook Lopez for 30 minutes in the playoffs,
Yeah.
which they're gonna have to. And yeah, with Yannick out, Garland thrives with the roll man, and they don't really have a good one on this team. I was watching the Clippers game today against the Spurs, and you know, they would just switch the pick and roll against Garland, or even if they're playing drop, there's not really a roll man he can dump it off to, and that's why he was so successful with Allen or Mobley in those lineups. So that's probably why. And then, like you said, the health issues for both of them. So that's why I don't have them on my list.
Yeah, I think the Clippers, I have it 8 purely because of Kawhi, and it seems like Darius Garland has actually been pretty good since he's joined.
Yeah,
Like his health hasn't really been much of a concern. Defense obviously sucks. Offense looks pretty good, and then Kawhi is like kind of he did get hurt recently, and then
yeah,
obviously I don't know, they have like random losses, bro, that like are kind of confusing to me. Like losing to the Kings is odd, even though
yeah,
the Kings have been winning games for some reason.
right.
That's like surprising. But I feel like, frankly, I just think they're better than the team is below them. Like I think their ceiling is higher than the Raptors or the Magic, or even possibly the Heat with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I have them there
I,
purely because of Kawhi Leonard. So they can make a first round series maybe difficult. Maybe they can take 2 games off the Thunder. I don't know. I definitely think they're better than the Suns. So that's
Me
why
too.
I
Yeah.
have them as that seed. Yeah. I'm like really, I dude, Sai, when you said who are we missing? I don't understand like what the difference is in
It
our
might be my number nine.
Yeah, shit, can I say my
What's
number
wrong?
nine as well?
Yeah,
please.
go for your 10. You haven't talked about the
I,
Rockets yet,
s-
right?
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, no, you kind of touched on the Rockets earlier.
I thought
I
that was the
don't have a
Lakers.
ton of belief in them either.
Hmm.
The only reason they made my list is because they do still, even without Steven Adams, have this ridiculous offensive rebounding advantage.
Hmm.
Um, that they can just lean onto whenever they want, really. And in a playoff series, again, especially like against some of these teams, it'll be a little slower pace. I think it might help them a little bit. Um, but I had the Lakers in nine as well.
I also have the Lakers at nine.
Like, oh my
Okay.
God, no way. Me too.
Okay, cool. Wow. I thought you guys were gonna leave them off, but then nobody
Bro,
said
who do
them in
you
the
not
conversation.
have? Are you forgetting someone,
I'm just
Rohan?
no, I'm pretty sure I have everyone. I'm also, I guess I'm higher on the Rockets than you guys are. Not much higher, but higher.
Yes.
Well, my list of 10 is just the top six in the West and the top four in the East. So I don't think I'm missing anybody.
No, you're definitely not. I think I have the exact. No, I don't have top four. I don't have top six in the. Who do I not have? I have one, two. I even wrote the seeds next to him. I have four, five, six.
Oh,
I
did
have
you
the
say?
top. I have. I think I'm not. I don't have one of the Eastern Conference teams on my list. Is it?
Really?
I
Wow.
have the one seed from the.
Did you forget about the Knicks or something?
No. Oh fuck! Why did I forget about the? I did forget about the Knicks. Wait, I gotta move everyone down now. I guess the
Okay.
Clippers are now my honorable
Nine.
mention. That's
Oh, the
crazy.
Clippers are 10. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
So, Rohan, did you have the Rockets over the Lakers?
I have Rockets over Lakers. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
why do you think that?
I buy like one. I mean, I feel like the defense wins out for me in the playoffs, and I feel like I've seen the Lakers with this exact same roster flame out in the playoffs against a very good defensive team that also had a decent offensive punch and got a little lucky. And I feel
Wait,
like
I think they have a pretty different roster though, I'm not gonna lie. If
Yeah.
with healthy.
are we like who are we relying on? Marcus Smart and Jake LaRavia as their new like pieces?
Well,
I don't know.
Aiton and Hayes are actually big, are bigs. They're not great, but they're bigs. And
Just
also, I mean,
ass.
like, I'm
I
also like Luca's healthier. LeBron's definitely
Yep.
healthier. He was cooked last year, and
yeah.
Reeves looks like they have a clear hierarchy to me of LeBron's usage is down, especially after his recent injury. It's clear, like even JJ Redick said it in the press conference, um, that we work when LeBron's the third highest usage. I also just think he's a really good coach, and I feel like he can, even though he had a really bad playoff series against Minnesota,
Yeah.
when he just played five guys in one half, that was ridiculous. But I think that like in terms of scheming, he's really good. Today they doubled KD through the whole second half essentially, and KD was shook. He had a backcourt violation, he had an
Yep.
8 second violation. He completely took him out of their game. Even like their game plan against Minnesota last year, it didn't work, but the idea of shading Anthony Edwards, trying to make him a passer, he randomly had like eight or nine assists in a game. Like, that's kind of what you have to force him to do, is pass the ball. I just think JJ's a pretty good coach too, and that's why like I have them over the Rockets, but I kept them at nine because I don't think they're better than anybody else.
I mean, to touch on what you said, the one thing about Anthony Edwards, I think the previous year, they turned him into a passer and he was good for the most part against the
Yep.
Suns. Remember, he cooked the Suns in that series, and then they beat the Nuggets. He also had to become a playmaker in Game 7 because he was like 6 of 24, and then yeah, he played like shit in the conference finals, whatever. But like the a big reason why the Lakers were even somewhat in the Timberwolves games is because LeBron had to be good. Like that, I don't. It's not like he was overdoing it and taking away from Austin Reeves was bad. He was
Yeah.
bad last year, right? And Luka was mid. Luka wasn't playing a lick of defense. Like LeBron was their greatest, like was their best defender last year in the playoffs, and he was arguably they're equally good as Luka offensively, from like at least watching the games. So
But neither of those will be true this year.
yeah, but I feel like that's if anything, that's a red flag. If you're hoping Austin Reeves is going to be their second offensive option in the playoffs after seeing what he did last year. I mean, I guess it depends on who they play in the first round. But if you're playing, I don't know, if you're playing the Nuggets or like even the Timberwolves again in the first round, it's a bad matchup. I mean,
Yeah,
I
I'd
don't.
I'd agree with you, Rohan, but my issue is more about the Rockets than the Lakers. Like I'm down on the Lakers, right? But I think the Lakers have shown way more signs of life as of late, like when their big three are healthy, than the Rockets have shown like since Steven Adams has been hurt. Like again, their defense, like you said, you can rely on, but I don't think they're that great to the point where like with Şengün starting when they can't go double big, like I'm not really sold on their defense as a whole, as much anymore. Amen can only do so much. I feel like they've kind of fallen off in a lot of like their rebounding is that advantage, and as well as like just I feel like they had more difficulty just containing like the outside guys as much. While they play Reed more and having to like settle for more offensive lineups as well. And obviously the rim protection's been bad with Şengün's kind of been falling off as of late. I don't know. I just think like the Lakers have shown more to me. Like Luka's been at an MVP level these last couple weeks. That's been huge. Like I just didn't see that as much last year at all.
He's been
Reeves again
better.
as a real second star,
He's been better
and
defensively too, Luka. They're
yeah,
they're they're fourth in
agreed.
defense last 2 weeks.
Wow.
Yep. And I think a lot of that's 3-point luck, but like at the same time, you gotta take into account like the scheming JJ Redick's been giving to a lot of these teams.
Yeah.
I like them a little more than the Rockets. That's all it really is.
They're fair points, I
You,
guess.
you know the game on Wednesday, Lakers Rockets will be really interesting just because to see how both
Like, yeah.
teams adapt. I
Yeah.
want to see like they might go the same double team in KD.
If Şengün plays, like it should be a lot different, right? Like
Yeah,
Şengün, you can just pass to him as that outlet, and he can kind of make plays in the middle of the floor.
Yeah.
But with KD, yeah, like they're giving to Clint
He gets
Capella. He's not
well.
going to do anything. He just throws the ball out of bounds. Same with Tari Eason, going to chuck up like mid floaters. Jabari Smith had a decent game, but all he's going to do is just pull up mid
He's
range.
like low key retarded though, bro.
And then yeah, I guess Amen, like I don't know why they didn't scheme him as much like in the middle of the floor attacking like these 4-on-3 situations. Like if he can just drive downhill, he can make a play. Like I just didn't feel like the Rockets really game plan that well at all. And I've been kind of disappointed with the Ime Udoka as of late. Like just their scheming has been pretty poor.
I don't
KD's
think
been
the
with the
talent is
ball in a
that
lot
good
more.
either though. Like I don't think
Yeah, I'd agree with you.
and I don't think Alperen Şengün's
But
that good.
also like Reed has been proven to be like a big factor to them. Just hasn't been playing enough like for what they've
Yeah.
needed lately
I'm
either.
excited to see what Reed does in the playoffs. Like if he can actually
Probably
like,
not much to be honest. Like
but we'll see.
yeah, we'll see.
Okay, so we figured out our our nines and tens are somewhat similar, I
yeah,
guess.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait. So Sahil, you had Lakers, no, Rockets 10, Lakers 9.
yeah.
Sai, you have Clippers 10,
And Lakers 9.
Lakers 9, Rockets like 11 or whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
Eighth seed. I mean eighth contender. Who wants to go? Or do you want me to go? Anyone?
You go, you go.
I have the Cavs as
I
my
do as
number.
well. I do as well.
All right.
The
Yeah.
disrespect.
I mean, yeah, the Cavs, I feel like since the Harden trade, they have looked much better. But like, I don't know, their offense looks good, defense kind of a question mark still. And I just don't think they're at the same level as like the better teams in the East. Like, I don't think they're Celtics level, Pistons level. Maybe like you could talk me into Knicks level, but they haven't matched up with the Knicks well. At least in the playoffs most recently. I know in the regular season last week, you guys kind of dominated them. I think your ceiling is higher now with Harden, at least in the first two rounds. But that being said, I still like it. I think this is actually like Sai was saying that he was the reason why the Lakers are above the Rockets is more about the Rockets being bad. I would say that same. I think the reason why I have the Cavs under a team like the Wolves, the Knicks, is that I just think they're a little better. I don't like that's like I know it sounds like weird, right? But like, yeah, that's kind of my shitty explanation. I don't know. Sai, why do you have the Cavs eighth?
Yeah, I just think like as good as they've been lately, they've been kind of definitely figuring things out. I think the roles have been more consistent. James Harden's a big playoff question mark for me. I just have to take that into consideration. And I feel like the same concerns coming in with like in a like inconsistent defensive effort. Obviously injuries have been played a part with Allen being out, Mobley's been out. Like that's gonna be a thing. I just think I haven't seen enough from them to prove like they've come out of their shell from the beginning of the season. And then again, I've just like We haven't seen Mitchell past the second round. We haven't seen Harden really elite in a playoff series, and I'm just not sold on like the complete defense with the two guards out there, and like whoever knows like if they're starting Strus or Wade or Merrill at times. Like I just don't trust the defense completely. I like Mobley's obviously elite. Allen's great, but I just think they're I don't like I think a team with can definitely slow their offense down and then just can find enough like I think they match up great against the Pistons, but I think they'll struggle against the Celtics and the Knicks, and that's why I just have those other teams better.
My eight I have the Detroit Pistons
Okay.
actually.
Yeah,
Whoa.
Um
that makes sense.
and the reason I have them at eight is one thing they just don't have any shooting. Like outside of
Mhm.
Duncan, I don't know how they're gonna score. Um Cade is obviously great, Duran is great. Um I don't trust JB Bickerstaff at all. I think in terms of scheming, and this is semi from experience, but I think like in terms of scheming, he definitely, I would say he's probably out of all these teams, I think he might be the worst coach. Chris Finch might be up there as well, but he's been okay in the playoffs, so we'll let him slide. Um, but I just don't think they have enough scoring, and I have more questions about their offense than I do even about the Knicks defense, which I have a lot of questions about because of Brunson and Cat and how you can just attack the hell out of them. I just don't see it with the Pistons that much. I think they just need one more microwave scorer. Like it was supposed to be like Levert is some bench scoring, but he's been horrible. Um, Dennis Jenkins is fun. Ron Holland is like can't shoot yet, so I don't know if he's even playable in the playoffs. I just think that Cade will see just a ton of this almost box in one kind of coverage where there's two guys on the blocks, there's two guys at the elbows, and there's a guy guarding him at the top of the key. And he's gonna look and be like, "There's nothing I can do here." If you can keep Duncan from getting like 6 threes a game, I don't know how they're gonna get 10, 11, 12 threes in a playoff game. I don't trust Tobias Harris, to be honest, either. He's been fine for them, but um, yeah, yeah, I don't know. I'm just not that high on Detroit. They're super physical. Um, so like every game, every time they'll play, like they play the Knicks, there'll be some low scoring games, but I don't know. I don't know. They're also just a bit young, I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah, I get that. They're number seven for me, so I completely get it. I
I know.
think
So,
what I had them over, the Cavs, was just I feel like they match up better with the Celtics and the Knicks, who I had better than the other two teams.
Hmm.
But that was a big reason. I also really trust their defense, like second best defense in the league right now. Their free throw rate is the highest in the NBA. Like they really foul, and I feel like because of the playoff defense that you'll see, like that won't be as much of an issue. That means their defense will be even better. And then Cade and Duran, I feel like are just guys who I can see as like enough offense in some of these situations, especially against teams like the Knicks, who I think they can play really well against. And
I just
yeah,
think it's the same thing with the Rockets too with Amen, but the fact that you can just have your four play off of them completely, they just like they can't score. Mobley,
right.
Allen will guard Duran, and Mobley will guard Asar, and they just won't be able to score because Mobley's just going to be at the rim. Any Cade
Hmm.
Duran pick and roll is going to go nowhere. The same thing happened today with the Lakers and the Rockets, where they're playing almost as the Lakers like this like to play this matchup zone, and they're just playing that, but they're almost playing it's like a 4-on-5 because they're just leaving Amen, and then like the center will shade over maybe if he gets the ball, contest him. Luca was actually playing phenomenal defense on Amen today too. Um, they're just like it's just like a complete hole, and like the Cavs have a similar thing with Mobley, but he has a little bit more of an outside game where you can't just leave him completely open.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I also have the Pistons. Like, I guess we're moving on to our number seven.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you said, the defense is like number two in the league. They're still top 10 in offense. I feel like
Yep.
they've beaten up, like especially early on, they're beating up on a lot of bad teams, and they have they were losing a lot of the games recently, right? I think they lost a few in a row against all pretty like solid teams. Like Hornets were there, the Spurs were there, they got destroyed by them. So yeah, I definitely have question marks about their offense. Cade is like a playoff type of player, meaning he will let it fly. Like he's not really worried about like efficiency in that thing, which can also be a curse for him. But yeah, I worry about their spacing. I feel like I'm falling into the same trap as I did in the preseason power rankings when I thought the Pistons wouldn't be that good, like not much of an improvement from last year. But I'm hoping this Jalen Duren jump is real. I guess that I feel like that's like a lot of what we're looking for when we enter the playoffs. Like that was a reason why the Pistons were so much better this year. In addition to their like shooting from Duncan Robinson. So we'll see.
Yeah.
They really could surprise us. I feel like every year we have a team that we're like lower on relative to their regular season standings, and they end up surprising us. I feel like in 2024, we all counted out the Timberwolves. We thought the Suns would beat them despite the Timberwolves being the 3 seed and Suns being the 6 seed, and they swept them.
I mean, you're talking about the one seed right now, though.
No, yeah, sure. But I'm saying like we're still underestimating.
Yeah.
Uh, it seems like, I mean, what we're calling them a number 8 or number 7 contender as a
Yeah.
1 seed who had arguably who had like the best record in the NBA for some time too, late in the season. I think that's like pretty big underestimation.
That's
So
fair. Yeah.
yeah,
I
I
think
think
another thing with them that I want to consider is they're just like they create a massive possession advantage with the offense. So like again, Cade will let it fly. So if he just gets 10 more shots, if the Pistons get 10 more shots, that could be enough of a difference to beat like the Cavs who really don't create a possession advantage at all, or they create turnovers to get a lot of offensive rebounds, and I feel like that could dominate some of these matchups.
yeah,
Maybe not the Knicks, who also are good at that, but I think but they've proven to own the Knicks matchup really well. They guard Brunson super well and guard Cat super well.
yeah.
So again, I just think they match up really good against a lot of the East contenders. And again, they've proven to be a good team throughout the regular season. Cade's proven to be a good star. Duran's proven to be a good second star. I think that's enough to give them slightly over the Cavs.
It's so hard for me to put the Knicks over the Pistons, but like I'm still gonna do it. Yeah.
I had the Knicks at 7. Um,
Okay.
and yeah, it's really I haven't really formed a full opinion on the Knicks. Um, McCall has been so bad lately.
Lately, yeah.
I think he's averaging like 6 points per game in over the last 2 weeks.
What? Really?
Yeah, something ridiculous. Over the last 6 games, I think. Um, and their defense is just so like it's such a funny defense because they're so wing heavy and they have like great wing stoppers, but
Wingstop.
but okay.
Bad.
Yeah, but with Brunson at the point of attack and then Cat, it just feels like you can like kind of get what you want against the Knicks if you really are smart about it. Their defense, I mean, so yeah, their offense is good though. Like that's the reason that I think they would beat the Pistons in a series. It's just because like I trust them more to score 100 to get to 100 points. Um, even though they lost last year. Or no, they beat the Pistons last year.
They beat them.
They
Yeah.
barely they outscored them by like 6 points over 40.
Yeah.
Yeah, and one of them was, a crazy foul at the end that
They
Yeah.
blew a lead. Pistons blew like multiple leads, I felt
I
like,
still
right?
yeah,
I just trust their down the stretch offense way
that's
more.
fair. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's
Yeah.
true.
I have the Knicks higher. Should
Also
I get
good.
into that now? Or do you
Who do you have? Six Wolves?
I have six Wolves, yeah.
Okay.
Six
Me
as well.
me too.
Okay. Wait, what should we do? Well, I guess we could talk Wolves versus Knicks because this is my exact
Yeah.
debate. That's why I
They're
forgot.
they're each other. They're mirrors of each other across
Exactly.
conferences.
I was literally on my drive back from work. I was thinking, who would I take in a series, Wolves or Knicks? I have no idea what I would do because like my heart is telling or my gut is telling me the Wolves, right? But on paper, I'm like, is it the Wolves?
I
I
think the Knicks
don't
personally.
know. I know, like,
I
I feel
think
like
the
the
Wolves.
Wolves' ceiling is higher than the Knicks' ceiling. I don't think the Knicks' ceiling is that high. Every year, I don't think the Knicks' ceiling is that high. I trust Anthony Edwards way more than I do Brunson, and I trust even like fucking Julius Randle at this point more than I do Cat in the playoffs, which is kind of
I think
wild.
I think a lot of this is like, what do you think of Mike Brown as a coach? Like, can he scheme up a defense in the playoffs? Can he like is he willing to go double big? I think that's the thing that they really need to start
Random
considering.
pieces like Mo Diawara is like a random piece they can
No,
throw
but
out
they're
there.
deep. I
Shoot
really
for
think
some
they're a
reason.
deep team, at least
Yeah, but no, it's good.
similar levels to
They
like
have like
last year. They have Alvarado, who's been great.
Alvarez,
Shamit's been awesome. Like he's been legitimately a great six man. Again, Diawara, Robinson.
Yabusele, and
Yeah, no, he's not on the team anymore. I'm
Kolek and
forgetting a
Clarkson
guy.
if Kolek and
Colette
Clarkson if
Clarkson.
you need.
Clarkson has been good in moments for them too, as well. Like,
they got
Sohan they got, but like he's been
Sohan,
bad. Yeah, he's been bad. I
another French guy. Okay, yeah, yeah, he's ass. Yeah,
think he's British.
Sohan,
Yeah,
Sohan's French.
I think he's British.
What? I swear he's French, bro.
It's funny, I was just like randomly I got into like a
Oh,
Twitter
he's
hole and
Polish. I don't know why I thought he was
Oh, he's
French.
Polish. Yeah, that makes sense.
I was looking at T-Wolves Twitter, and it was funny. Like somebody was like, "Oh, like Randall's the problem. Like this
Yeah,
is ridiculous." And then like the rest of the comments are just like they're all like everybody has a problem with somebody on the team.
Yeah.
Like down the roster, somebody's pissed at somebody. Um, but yeah, the real thing is that like Anthony Edwards and Julius Randle, their off-ball defense is so bad. Like Anthony might be actually one of the worst off-ball
He's
defenders in the
been a
league.
dude. He's been like that. Even in 2024, and people are complimenting his what's it called? He was exposed in the Mavs series for his lack of off-ball defense. It's only
And
right.
it's funny because he's like such an ego hooper that like if you're trying to attack him one on one, then he's gonna like stand the fuck up.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
like he doesn't give a shit like off the ball.
Yeah.
But I still just trust him a little bit more. I would probably take the Wolves over the Knicks too in a series, I think.
Yeah, I have the Knicks over them. I have no idea. I couldn't even tell you why. It's so close, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's fair. I don't know. I believe in the Knicks. I think the most impressive playoff series out of all of them has been them beating Boston last year. Like maybe out of all the teams here, like beating Boston in the playoffs last year, just nothing we expected, multiple 20-point wins. You could say that's a bit of a fluke, but I just think I trust the experience that comes with it.
Yeah,
Different coaching, which I think does make a difference, but I like the depth the Knicks have. And obviously they go they go in slumps, they excel in times. I think they'll figure it out by the playoffs. And I don't know. I really have so much faith because of what I saw last year that they could win the East. And maybe
yeah,
that's a little bit of bias of what I saw coming into the season. I was really high on the Knicks. Um, but I think with the increased depth, like I really feel like they trust some of their guys like Shamit, like Alvarado, like Diawara. Obviously Robinson's a big piece for them.
he's
But
healthy. Yeah, for once
yeah,
he's somewhat healthy. So
no, I think they just need it. Yeah, like you said, Mikhail's been awful. I think if he can kind of sort himself out, Towns can find some, I think he always does great enough in the playoffs, personally. Like I don't really ever see Towns do awful. Like he'll have moments where he struggles for sure, especially defensively. But I think he takes pride in his offense and can really get up there and like increase his scoring load. And then of course Brunson's actually really struggled post All-Star as well. But I think he's always been a playoff guy. So I really trust the Knicks overall.
they might
I
get they
slightly
might
over the Wolves
they
personally.
might get Deuce McBride too back, I think.
Yeah, no, that's a big piece. You're right. I
Yeah.
completely forgot about him. He's been hurt with I think a hand injury, right? Like
Yeah, they got a lot of guards though. So
they've been having, but they make it work somehow. Kolek, Clarkson, McBride, and
Kolek's been out of the
Alvarado
rotation though. I
offense.
feel like I think it's gonna be Shamit and McBride, probably
Alvarado though.
over probably not even Alvarado. I think McBride takes that spot
Yeah,
if they're
maybe
gonna
like
have to pick.
backup. Yeah. Um, for the Wolves, though, I feel like IO they have a very good defensive like perimeter game. I mean, I feel like you
They're
have
just not
IO.
a good defense though. That's the thing. Like it's kind of crazy.
What is their defensive thing?
They are
They're electric.
11th,
Okay.
and a lot of that is like Gobert, man. He's basically all of that.
yeah.
He's also low-key retarded offensively.
Yeah,
So
exactly. So it's like pick and choose your battles. You put Naz Reid in, you're turned into a terrible defense.
all
You
I
put
can think,
Gobert in, just not your offense can really struggle in moments.
But
but all,
that's also you can call that versatility in the fact that they can go two different ways.
Right.
both
Um
are mid though. But yeah, I
uh,
mean, what I was gonna say is like they still match up so well against the Lakers. Like I think
Yeah. I
they're
mean,
so well. Again, that they would give Luca and Reeves hell with a lineup of Jaden McDaniels, Io, and Ant guarding those two guys. And then LeBron, I mean, I don't know what the hell, like Julius Randle versus LeBron, I don't know. But Gobert is there at the rim too. So I don't know. At least just in terms of that first round matchup, I would like right now, I would take the Wolves over the Lakers. I guess you guys agree because you have the Lakers
yeah,
over
yeah.
them.
yeah, for
Their
sure.
top seven is just a really good top
Yeah.
seven to have.
Nothing past that I can trust though. Not a
That's true.
bit.
Yeah.
That's true.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
Okay. So I guess
that's my
Sai
biggest
and I
problem.
both have the Knicks five, I'm assuming.
Yeah. So,
I have the
Sal, do you have
Cavs.
Cavs top four?
I have
Or
Cavs
no, you
five. I have
have
Cavs
Cavs
five.
five. Okay.
Sorry,
And
have you given us reasoning already for the Cavs earlier when we were saying they were eight?
no, I didn't. I have them five. I think that I just trust them a lot more in the playoffs because they have less holes. I think Harden, even though he isn't a good defender, you don't the defense doesn't have to collapse as often as they did with Garland. I think when you can stay home a little bit more, your 3-point defense becomes a little bit better. Um, Without Allen, like they were really good when Harden came and then Allen was playing. He got hurt, and now recently it's been a little rocky.
Yeah.
I just think that if they can get healthy, they are like extremely deep. With Strus, Tyson, Merrill, there's Schroeder, Ellis, like there's just a bunch of guys. Like those are all kind of
That's
like
fair.
6'4" to 6'6" guards. But there's just a lot of different ways that they can play. I think Mitchell trusts Harden a lot more, and I think in the past you've seen with the Cavs, when the going gets rough late in the game, Mitchell kind of feels like he has to jack up a bunch of shots.
Yeah.
I think that kind of yeah, messes up the balance of their offense. I think he'll lean on Harden a little bit more. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I don't know because it's Harden. Um, but I think if there's any environment for Harden to succeed, it's with a guy like Allen. It's with somebody like Mobley. Mobley needs to figure out how to shoot free throws. He's six for his last 17.
Oh,
Which I mean, if he can't shoot free throws, then we have a major problem. Um, but I think they're better than the Pistons. They beat them. They almost beat the Pistons without Harden and Mitchell.
Right.
I know it's regular season, but the fact that you can just play Mobley off a SAR, and then same thing with the Knicks. Like with Harden, I feel like, and it's the fact that like Dean Wade, another guy, like against the Knicks, he's a very good Brunson defender. I think he's the best in the league in terms of guarding Jalen Brunson. I just think that with Harden, you just can't pick on him as much. Even like against Cat, like if on a switch, like I don't mind Harden guarding Cat in the post at all.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Small things like that, I think will just matter a lot more. He's a bit of a better defensive rebounder. Off ball, still a bad defender, but you've got to think in the playoffs, like the problem Harden has had in the playoffs is that his shot just completely
Yeah,
goes to shit, or he just starts turning the ball over. Like
right.
his defense is always just kind of been the same. Um, I don't know. I think you guys might be a little low on the
No,
Cavs.
the depth is really a fair point. Like Ellis, Tyson's really come onto the scene this year. Like those guys are real playoff guys, I think. Like they can really make impactful moments in the playoffs. Again, another thing though, I would say with the Knicks and the Wolves, they've been maybe the two healthiest teams like starting lineup wise all year, and the Cavs have been the opposite of that.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's another thing I kind of took into consideration. That's just like the health problems that come with the Cavs. But yeah, the depth could take them far for sure. And then yeah, it's just question marks about Mobley's offense. Can he be a real four? Like it feels like he struggled to play the four this year, and he hasn't been like that great as a lone five at the same time.
I don't like him at the five and by himself like
Yeah,
at all, really.
which is a surprise, like coming from like last year and the two seasons before. And then yeah, I do like the Harden Mitchell fit better. But what do you think about what have you seen from Harden like since we got that like injury on his finger? Like, do you think it's like affected him much, or like do you think it's gonna be a real problem in the playoffs? Like people say like, okay, he has an injury on his finger, just swipe at him, like just
Yeah,
attack his left hand.
yeah.
Like, could that thing be a real problem for him?
Well, no, it's his right hand.
Oh,
So
right. Okay.
it's his right hand. So that definitely is a little bit better in terms of his shot.
Yeah,
He's looked good. I think he's like kind of trying not to push it too much in terms of
sure.
like he doesn't want to take too much away from the rest of the team. And a lot of it is I feel like he feels like he's playing with a bunch of new shooters like Tyson, Merrill, Ellis. So a lot of he's just like kicking out, kicking out, kicking out. I think as the playoffs get started, as the season winds down, I think he might start to be a little bit more aggressive as a scorer, something I'm looking for. His floater has been really good since he's got here. The step back threes, like I think he's at 39% on step back threes. I like the fit. I miss Garland a lot.
Yeah.
I understand why they made the trade. Just because it's literally just the defense. He's just a bigger dude. Like you can't pick on him as much. He holds on ISO possessions. He holds players to less than a point per possession, which is really good.
Wow.
So we'll see. I just feel like especially with like I think in the series Wolves versus Cavs, I might take the Cavs in seven or something like that. It'd be a really close game, but I have them over the Wolves.
Who's
Like
guarding
I
Ant though? Who's guarding Ant that
I,
series?
I I think you can put Wade on him. I think you can put Tyson on him. I think you can put Ellis on him if you wanted to go a little smaller. Um, and then
Mm.
you have
That's rough. I don't know personally.
it's no, it's they don't have like an elite wing stopper. Ellis is more of a guard stopper.
Yeah.
Tyson has been really good. He was really good on Cade.
Okay.
Like they're different players.
That feels like
Um,
a different, better matchup. But yeah, I mean, both are
yeah,
like big physical guards, so I
yeah.
get that.
So we all had the same 5 through 10, right? Yeah, or 5 through 9. So
Yeah, I think
like
I
just
think our
switched up.
1 through 4 are the same here.
Okay. Um,
Interesting. Okay. So I guess Sal, we know you don't have the Celtics number four.
no, I have
So,
the Spurs at number 4.
Okay.
okay.
I have
Wow.
the
Um,
Celtics at 4.
I have the
okay.
Celtics at four as well.
Nice.
Should I
I
say
think
where
we've
I have
had
the
the same
Celtics?
other than 10, Rohan, or like
Except
the
the
Rock where you
Rockets
had the
and Lakers,
Rockets.
we
Yeah.
switched. We didn't switch them. You have the Clippers and 10, right? Yeah.
Should we
Yeah.
talk about the Spurs or the Celtics? Oh, I can say. Should I say where I have the Celtics, or should we?
You have the
I,
Celtics at two, you said, right?
I have the Celtics at 2. Yeah, I have the Celtics at 2.
I think let's
So,
start with the Celtics, yeah.
Okay.
yeah. Okay. I have the Celtics at 2. I mean, we can just say it now. I have the Thunder, Celtics, Nuggets, Spurs.
Okay.
Um, And what do you guys have?
I have Thunder, Spurs, Nuggets, Celtics.
No, me too.
Yeah,
You guys
okay.
have the same.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Okay. So in terms of Boston, with Boston, I'm just like they don't have any holes. Like they had the second best net rating before Tatum came. They're super disciplined, super well coached. Tatum's versatile, so he can just kind of slot in anywhere. I like the fact that they have Kata and they also have Vucevic, kind of gives them like two different looks. But they're just so balanced, and I just like they're top 10 offense and defense. I don't know what to be worried about with them. Like I have questions about I have questions about Denver's defense. I have questions about the Spurs offense. I don't have a question about either of Boston, just like I don't have a question about either with OKC. So that's why I
Yeah.
had them at two, and they're in the East.
For this, the reason I had the Celtics at four is two things. First off, like, okay, if Tatum hadn't returned, would the Celtics be in your top five for contenders?
Um, no,
I think they'd be like number eight, number seven,
Okay. Okay.
I would
something like
probably
that.
still have them around five, and like it would be a toss up with them and the Cavs. You know,
If
I
it
feel
would
like
be a
Tatum
toss,
back kind of.
you definitely dropped them down, right? Um, Tatum hasn't fully looked like Tatum, right?
Right.
Are we gonna assume that he's gonna play 35 minutes a game in the playoffs and give you Tatum-like production? Because I'm not sure that with this level of production, the Celtics are actually gonna be contenders. So my question is, are you guys putting, or Sahil, I guess specifically you, are you putting the Celtics at number two, assuming Tatum is gonna do what he was doing back in like 24 and 25?
I'm kind of giving it a middle ground of like what was he last year and then what is he now? And I'm like I'm looking at like 25 minutes of good production from Jason Tatum. He might play 32, but for like some of those I'm not really it's he's still, it's going to be a lot of pull-up jumpers, a lot not a lot of play in the post, things like that. But I think the fact that they like will like lean on Jaylen Brown a little bit more versus in years past it's kind of been like a 1-2. Um, or 1A, 1B. I mean, I think it's good sometimes to have a hierarchy, like the Lakers do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think one other thing in addition, like my other worry about the Celtics is simply just I know they've gotten a lot out of this team, like a lot out of like very average role players. I don't know if that's sustainable in the playoffs. I know like their system has just worked, right? Like Jaylen Brown has played out of his mind, but outside of that, everyone is kind of like collectively just playing solid basketball, and they've been able to rack up wins in the regular season. I'm not sure that's going to work in the playoffs when Jaylen Brown is the focal point of the defense, and you expect Derek White to start making plays or Peyton Pritchard to make plays. You need someone else to average 20.
They're
In
good
That's
though.
what they
Both
do.
of them
That's
can
what they
hit.
do. That's
I'm
what they
not
do.
sure that's gonna
They
sustain,
make
like
plays.
gonna happen in the playoffs.
I think
I'm not sure I could trust Hugo Gonzalez or like Luca Garza or fucking anyone else on that team for that matter to continue this level of production against elite teams. I know
well,
their defense and offense are both top five. It's crazy, but I'm not sure that, especially if Tatum's not gonna be like the 25, 8 and 7 guy that he's been his career. So
Yeah, I will say, I agree. Like, I mean, we obviously had four for the Celtics, but
yeah,
there's a reason I have them top five against all these other East teams, and I believe in their system. I believe in their depth. They are amazingly good offensive rebounding team. They are an amazingly good team at limiting turnovers, limiting fouling, just basically doing the right things at the right moments. Obviously, yeah, it's like the East again, not a super strong field, right? But at the same time, they have the star power in the scoring. They have a great offense and that can be super explosive. And I really trust in this defense. Like last 2 months, they've been a top three defense. I think the amount of wing guys they have, Kata's been really good as a rim protector. I think they can be as good as the Pistons basically as a defense while having an offense that can create like JB can obviously do what he does, but they have a lot of shooting too, and they can with Hauser, with Pritchard, with White, with JB, with Tatum, like who may not be a shooter at this point. His shots really hasn't fallen, but I just think they have so much offensive like cohesiveness, and they rebound the hell out of the ball. They work super hard. They hustle. There's just a lot to like, and with the high like the peak that Tatum could provide them, I think that I even more than his offense, I'm just like the defensive versatility that they can give him. Like they don't really have a real switchable five. Like Kata's like decent, but like the Tatum could be that for them. And I feel like the fact that they have that optionality and the versatility as well as like a point forward that JB wasn't as much of, even though he's like more of a pure scorer. They just have so much, and I trust Missoula to work with it.
all right. I mean, I agree with what you said, and that's why I have them at number four.
Yeah.
But I still don't think their ceiling is like with
No,
this level of Tatum is as high. I think they need a third like consistent scorer, and I'm not sure Derek White or Peyton Pritchard is that, and I'm not sure the role players like they're gonna tighten up the rotations a bit too.
yeah.
In the
I
playoffs.
think Hugo's playing. I think the guy who might like lose his minutes probably like Shireman and Walsh at this point.
Yeah.
Um,
And Vucevic has been out. I don't know when Vucevic's coming back.
yeah, but I don't even know if he's good to be honest. He's like all right.
Yeah. Okay, so number three, we all have the Nuggets. I can start a little bit on the Nuggets. I think honestly, number three, given how they've been playing, is actually kind of high. We're only doing this because of Jokic and I guess Jamal's production this year. Aaron Gordon's been back. And Peyton Watson, I think he's been hurt. I don't remember. Is Peyton
Yeah.
Watson back? He's been hurt, right?
No, he's not back yet. He's been out
Yeah,
with the
he's been
hamstring for
hurt.
like 6 weeks basically.
So what I said about the Nuggets in 2024 and 2025 and now this year is holding true in that like we keep thinking yes, Jokic as long as Jokic is on the team, they're a top three contender, right? But like we have to realize the regular season does like have a like it's not like what a team is in the regular season after 60 games a lot of times is what they are in the playoffs. All right. And this team is garbage defensively. I don't like they are a 5 seed and they're probably not going to be above four. I don't think they're going to four, maybe three. I don't know. But that's why like I can't put them on the level of the Spurs or the Thunder. They just haven't consistently been able to do it on both ends. Their offense is incredible, right? But when it comes to their defense, they look like shit. Their bench is garbage defensively. Even the
Yeah.
starters, I don't know. They're not very good defensively. They're like what 20th, 21st in defense, I think. So yeah, they almost lost the Clippers in the first round last year. They got lucky with that game winner. Otherwise, Clippers would have won in like six. And then even in the Thunder series, they got lucky in game one. They could have lost that one in six or five. So I'm not, and they again, of course, they lost to the Timberwolves in 2024. I'm not like as high as I feel like a month ago or 2 months ago, I thought the Nuggets could dethrone the Thunder, but I'm as low on them as I ever have been, which is crazy because I put them at three. But yeah,
Yeah, I'm just gonna say I think obviously like the defense hasn't been good, but we have to address the fact that they've just been one of the most injured teams in the league, especially when it comes to the high impact defenders. Like again, Peyton Watson 6 weeks. Aaron Gordon's basically played like maybe
barely played.
three
Yeah,
weeks continuously, and he's their most impactful defender. Christian Braun's missed a lot of minutes. Cam Johnson's missed a lot of time. Like none of these guys have played a consistent rotation, and Aaron Gordon just so impactful to that team. Like still they haven't figured it out. These last couple days, like with Aaron Gordon back, I think they still haven't been a good defense.
yeah,
But like the fact is, when like the numbers show that when with Gordon on the floor, they're a great defense, and I trust that they can flip that same switch they did last year. Like they were a
well,
good defense in the playoffs. They legitimately were, and maybe it was just shooting luck when it comes to that Thunder series, which a lot of it is. But at the
yeah,
same time, I think they can figure out a good enough defense to at least be a top three contender, right? Like last year, you would have said based off how they played, they were maybe like number two, but or like coming into the season, you would think they're number two. So I definitely like pushed them down a little bit because of how poorly they played on that end, and I just think Jokic has been the worst defender year after year, which is disappointing. But Jamal's been awesome this year. Like he's been legitimately great. If he can bring that into the playoffs, which he didn't really do last season, that's a huge difference maker. Um, they have some more depth. Like Tim Hardaway Jr. has been awesome. I don't know if he's a playoff guy. We'll have to see. He's just been like lights out for
yeah.
most of these games this season. He's had a couple slumps. What I do have concerns about is like their backup center JV's been out of the rotation. It feels like lately, like he'll play like 8 minutes here and there, 10 minutes. Feels like he's not the guy they were expecting when they made that MPJ trade and used that money on him. Cam Johnson has kind of shown up as of late, but a little bit. But he's like another guy who's been very inconsistent this season with his shot. But I trust Jokic to figure out the offense enough, and then I figure that with like they've been the best offense in the league this year, so that's obviously something you have to take into consideration. And then I trust the defense enough with Gordon on the floor. Like I think they can figure it out to be at least like they can upset the Spurs, they can upset the Thunder. I really think they have like that what it takes for that.
Sal, your thoughts on the
Yeah,
Nuggets?
no, I'm. kind of echoing what Sai said. Their offense is just still so good, that they can put the ball in the basket enough that I think they're just a better playoff team than San Antonio to me. Because I just don't to me I don't know what the Spurs go-to offense is. I don't know what their go-to actions are. I don't think they know what their go-to actions are yet. Um, and then it's still Jokic and it's still Jamal Murray and it's still the same core. Um, it's hard for me to put them any lower than three, and that's why we all have them there.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
Yeah. No, that's
All
fair.
right. Why do you have the Spurs at four? Like, I get that you don't trust their actions yet. What do you see from them?
I just think the playoffs are just such a different game, and
Hmm.
I don't know what I'm getting from Castle. I don't know what I'm getting from Harper. I don't even know what I'm getting from Wemby if you put Aaron Gordon on him and just tell Aaron Gordon, "Hey, foul the shit out of him, get under him, don't let him get to the basket, make him shoot a bunch of tough twos, tough threes." He hasn't been super efficient on jump shots this year. The defense is insane and it's gonna be insane. But it's like similar with Detroit and teams like that are so good defensively, but I just don't know exactly where the offense is coming from. I don't trust a lot of their vets. Like, I don't trust Harrison Barnes. De'Aaron Fox is like the one guy that I know,
Yeah.
um, that I feel like I know what I'm gonna get from him. But even him, like, there's been this weird back and forth with like the Spurs guards where like I feel like recently De'Aaron's been kind of ramping up a little bit in terms of usage. And I don't know if that's I mean, I guess that's what they're gonna have to do in the playoffs. But it's just a weird dynamic between like all three. Um, there's just a lot of question marks that I have with them, and it's like I just don't see a team this young winning the chip in their first season in the playoffs. Like that's just like OKC was really young last year, but they had made the playoffs before they lost the second round to Dallas, right? Um, this would just be like insane. I understand that they're gonna win 60 games or whatever, and like that's like they are such a good team, but it feels like next year's the year for them. This is like a feel out year where I think they'll lose in the second round to a team like Denver.
Hmm.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I did want to bring up like no team in the last like 10, 20 years in like NBA history. Like you rarely see a champion that hasn't made the second round at least the year before.
Yeah,
Like this is a team that obviously has no playoff experience. Their most experienced guy is Harrison Barnes, but like De'Aaron Fox, who's their most experienced star, has seen one 7 game playoff series. So
yeah,
obviously that's a concern. But at the end of the day, like I disagree with the no, they don't have a ton of actions because I just think like the Castle Wemby pick and roll is just such a staple for their offense. And they can just create so much out of it. And it's so successful because like this team does not turn the ball over. They get like a decent amount of rebounds. They don't shoot super well, which is obviously a concern for them. But it just feels like every time they need a shot, they make a shot.
Hit.
Fox has not been a great enough shooter, 35% this year. Like you'd expect more, but every time it feels like I watch them, they hit like a big one. Castle, every time you leave him open, he'll brick a couple, and then he'll make a big one in the fourth quarter to win him a game.
Yeah.
Vassell's just been automatic. Champagne's been great as a starter, as they've figured out like his role. They just have enough guys. They make enough plays. Wemby's just a one-man defense, and I mean, obviously they have Castle, who's like another guy. I just think if any team were to beat the Thunder, I think it's the Spurs. I believe in them the most out of all the teams in the entire NBA. And
Yeah.
obviously we have the Thunder number one for a reason. The Spurs have proven that. Like I'm not gonna say I believe super high in like the regular season success against the Thunder. Some games are fluky, things happen here and there. But I just think the Thunder were relentless because they drive the basketball, and they're not a great three-point shooting team. Especially like they can shoot lights out in moments, like especially like adding McCain's a big deal. But the fact that you could just put Wemby in the middle of the floor, shut down every drive, and then on the other end, don't turn the ball over. Wemby's just gonna own Chet in the middle of the floor. Castle's gonna do what he wants against like just make some crazy shit layups. Like they have enough guys. Like you see in that Thunder matchup, especially like one guy steps up, like Vassell stepped up in a game, Castle, Fox, Champagnie, like everyone just finds a way to affect the game. And even though it's not like if you center your defense around Wemby, some other guys will figure out how to score. I just trust their offense a lot, and I think Mitch Johnson's done an incredible job with the team.
they're not gonna
Um,
they're not gonna face the Spurs, the Thunder though. That's the problem.
That's what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
like
guess
they're not
that's
facing
fair.
the
Like
Thunder.
maybe in a Nuggets series, I would pick the Nuggets, right? So like that's a fair point. Like it's
You
it's
would
a
oh you
different
would pick the
matchup.
you would pick the Nuggets.
I just think it's so 50-50, but I think I feel a lot more confident in a Thunder Nuggets matchup as a Thunder fan than I do a Thunder Spurs matchup. And I feel like you got to beat the Thunder to win the championship. That's how good they are. So that's why I have the Spurs second. I just feel like that's the team that can beat the Thunder out of any of
What if
these
the
teams.
Thunder get upset in the first round?
I'm gonna
What
kill
What?
myself, bro. Like it's as simple as that.
I was
to
gonna
Golden
go to
State? To
you're gonna
Golden
go to a
State.
game, right? Clippers Thunder. You're definitely gonna
Oh,
go.
100%. If it's Clippers Thunder, yes.
It probably will.
Um,
Warriors
Okay,
Thunder,
wait.
bro.
Let me say my thing about the fuck no. Let me say my thing about the Spurs. Yeah, I disagree with the whole offense thing. I feel like they have so many play creators, like
yeah,
like they all like Castle, Fox, and what's his name?
Harper,
Jordan
Vassell too.
Harper. Yeah, they're all playmakers. Like they're all like decent enough playmakers. And De'Aaron Fox, I trust in the playoffs 100%. Okay. And Wemby, it's like we've seen enough. He's not gonna shit the. I would be very surprised if he underperforms in the playoffs. Even if you do put Aaron Gordon on him, I feel like he draws enough
I
attention.
actually wouldn't be surprised if he underperforms, but I think he'll average like 4 blocks a game. Like that, like I think overall as a player, he'll be so impactful. His offense won't matter, but I could see him legitimately averaging like 18 a game in some series.
I can already see myself getting frustrated because he gets like phased out of games. Like he
Hmm.
will get phased out of games in the last 2 minutes where it's like they got to get the ball to Wemby and they just
He
can't.
already does. They
And
already do that
they
in
already do that, right? So
games.
it's like it's
Yeah.
just gonna be like some like same the guard stuff. It's gonna be Fox. It's gonna be Castle doing stuff at the end of games when it's like you want to see
But
the ball go to
I
Wemby.
can see it so vividly. Like Vassell hits like 5 threes in a game. Next
Yeah.
game, Fox goes for 45. The
And
game
he
after that, Castle and Wemby has like a 20-20 game and Castle goes out for 35. Like I just feel like the team is so cohesive. They're so deep. Cornette off the bench. Like they just have so many guys who can be the best, like the leading scorer for the team that I don't care too much if Wemby stopped personally.
that
That's why
also
I'm
makes, I
comes down
guess
to
that's
it.
also a red flag. I guess is what I was
That's
saying. You
fair.
don't know who like the number one scorer is going to be. And if it's going to be Castle, that's kind of a problem. You shouldn't expect Stephon Castle to be your number one scorer.
No, honestly though, I agree with everything you guys are saying. It's for me, it's purely just like I said, like you don't get to you don't just not make the playoffs for a bunch of years and then
No.
now
We're
you're winning.
overthinking it. We're overthinking. It's a new age, bro. The
No,
Thunder are good.
there's
The
still
Thunder are good.
there's decades of history that shows you that this like just because OKC won the chip, but they have a Shai's literally like back-to-back MVP and they have like this insane
And
defense.
again, they did make the second round the year before, and they got
They
to
did make
game
that.
six very close to a game seven.
An anomaly because Wemby was hurt last year. The Spurs could have made the playoffs if Wemby was playing. He was just hurt. That's it. Like it's simple as that. You guys
But
are
they
over.
still didn't make it
Maybe.
though. Like they still
Well,
didn't
they
get that
didn't make it, but
experience.
like it's
Yeah,
not
that's
like
true. It
he
is the
wasn't good
experience.
enough. It's not. I mean, I think that's overrated. Like I don't. We'll see. We'll see. This team
Playoff
is too good.
experience.
Mitch Johnson's also an unproven coach. Like it's hard for me to put them to second, but I just think of any team I could see blowing being the Thunder. That's my reason to put them second
I
personally.
think the Spurs
Not
can beat the Nuggets too. I think they match up beautifully against the
I
Nuggets.
do, yeah, I think they could beat the Nuggets too. I'm not discounting that as well.
I
Like
think
Look,
I
I
just
the
could.
think it's
Spurs
close. So
offense will make the Nuggets defense fucking look like shit. I really, really think that. Just because of how many playmakers they have in the court and just how good their what's it called bench is. Uh,
yeah.
the Spurs bench. They just have so
No,
many
it's fair.
guys.
And like the thing is like Wemby, like, we put Aaron Gordon in the dunker spot. Wemby just guard both of the actions. He's just that insane.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay.
Should we
Number
talk
one.
about OKC, bro? Yeah.
So now we're just what's there to say, bro? What do you want to say? You want to glaze your team
I
two
mean, what are
for
your concerns? What's stopping them from a
the
repeat? I feel
shooting?
like that's a good
Shooting,
where you could start. Yeah, okay.
shooting is a concern. Chet production, J-Dub health and production. J-Dub's not been very consistent this year, and he's been in and out
He
of the
hasn't
lineup.
played, bro.
I mean, when
He's
he's
played like
played, he's been
15
inconsistent
games.
and in and out of the lineup. And then,
Yeah.
like, yeah, I don't know. It's the same. Because even last year, what you're shooting regressed like crazy in the playoffs, right? You guys shot really
Yeah.
bad from three. Jared McCain is an amazing addition, though. Like you
Yeah.
have like multiple playmakers off the bench now. And then yeah, Chet, is he going to be your number two option now? Because that's a problem if J-Dub's not
Yeah.
playing to his standards. I'm not concerned about Shea at all. But yeah,
That's the thing with Shea being so good, do you need a number two option?
yes,
Like off the bench, you have AJ Mitchell. That's my number two option.
that's not.
I
Dude,
I
he's
don't
so
know.
good. He's
He's
so
so
good.
good, dude.
He's
That's
so
not going to beat the Spurs. Like if J-Dub or Chet can't, if you don't have another 20-point per game score, I don't think you're beating the Spurs. Seriously, given how
I
good
think
the Spurs defense
AJ
is.
Mitchell could be like Brunson, bro. He's good enough to get there.
He's
Just
not
like
the shooter Brunson is, though, is he? I don't know.
No. I mean,
no, but
mid range he can get there,
he can
but
get
three
downhill
from
so
three,
easily
no.
He's
too.
just crafty and yeah, he's
He's
crafty
super
game.
crafty.
That's what it
But
is.
craft
But
doesn't matter when fucking Victor Wembanyama is there at the same time. Uh,
what
yeah,
is
I do. I am very concerned about Jada. I feel like more than the offense, I'm worried about the defense because you can't guard like we saw in this like I mean, I guess Chet was also out, Ihart was out, but like the fact that there was no guy for Julius Randle recently, like he was going off against us, Aaron Gordon was going off against us. There's
Yeah.
no guy for wing defenders. Like we're gonna have to play Kenrich Williams too many minutes. It feels like that's a big problem for me.
Yeah.
And I guess that's not a Spurs specific problem, but like J-Dub's just such a good defender. He'll make plays.
He's your best defender,
Against
actually. I guess, yeah.
I think Chet's my best
Yeah.
best defender.
Maybe the most versatile. Okay, continue. Sorry.
Yeah, definitely the most versatile. But yeah, I actually have a little more faith in the offense this year. Um, Lou Dort's a huge concern of mine as well. He just sucked. Like his shooting is falling off a cliff,
It's a huge
sadly.
concern for everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's also
the
true.
whole NBA will be better off, both the Thunder
He'll
and
just
other.
like give every team two extra free throws by committing a flagrant foul. It's very annoying. Yeah, I mean, I think McCain's a huge addition. I think AJ Mitchell's emergence is a huge thing as well. I think Jay Will as a real backup big who I didn't trust last year as much, and now I actually trust to be a rotational player. I just think our depth is like unreal. I think like if you guys have phased out of our rotation, like Aaron Wiggins and Dort, I think are like scary. Like they could be problems for us. But I think at the end of the day, like we've added more shooting, we've added more playmaking, which have been concerns in this last. So I think I like the offense. The defense, do we have the wings? Like J-Dub's going to be really important in that sense, and that could be a problem. That's my biggest concern.
I don't have any concerns for OKC. I mean, it's literally just health. Like if they're healthy, they're gonna make
Yeah,
the finals. I guess they don't get that many offensive rebounds. So if their shooting
yeah.
does go to if it does go to shit, then then they might lose a game because they shoot like 5 of 36 from three or something like that. Um,
It's
but over
big.
a course of 7 game series, like I'm positive they're gonna be in the finals.
Like iHeart use needs to be helped. I think like it's
Yeah,
your
it's
man depth.
health
Yeah.
too. That's another thing. I mean, Shai was not great in the playoffs per his standards last year. I thought
Yeah.
he was amazing in the Minnesota series, and he was
He
really
had
good to start
advantage
off the
too.
Pacers series.
Yeah.
Awful in the Grizzlies series. He was really good in the
Nuggets
Nuggets
game,
series as well.
one
Yeah.
game was crazy.
Other than one game, yeah, very good. He had like 14 in one game, in like game four, I think,
No,
which
I
was
was talking about
nuts.
the good game he had. He had one
Yeah.
really, really good game.
He
He had
had he had awesome
40.
games throughout the
Was it
series.
game
Other than
five or
that,
game six? Was it game five? Where
I
he was
think
really,
game
it was game
five
five and you lost game six, right? Or was
yeah,
it
yeah.
opposite? Okay, I don't remember. Yeah, it was good.
Game five was that Jokic Shea duel at the end
Yeah,
where
yeah,
like
that's what
Jokic
I
hit
was
a
referring.
crazy three, Shea comes back, mid range hits him three. Yeah. I have total faith in Shea to be even better than he was last year. So in the playoffs, like I completely trust the guy. Especially in clutch situations. He's the clutch player of the year right now. That's another big thing. Like we don't have a second guy, so maybe you take the ball out of Shea's hands. How did they make the play? I trust AJ. I think iHeart can with shooters like they can figure it out. I'm not too concerned, but I think the fact that you have this like one man advantage creator in every single situation, who's maybe the best player in the NBA, like you just have to have a lot of. Uh, I think when it comes down to the stretch, I feel very confident against any other team with my guy. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Yeah, I feel that. All right. Well, those are our contenders. We all had pretty similar lists. I think we had a nice, healthy discussion about the differences in our list, but overall, pretty similar, I would say. Um, okay, I think that's it for us. A change of pace. We should record again soon.
Yes.
But yeah, thanks so much for listening to Change of Pace podcast. We'll be back at you soon, within the week, hopefully. Follow us on all socials at Change of Pace Pod, Instagram, Spotify, TikTok, YouTube, etc. Email us changeofpacepod@gmail.com, and we'll see you soon. Thank you.